The Georgia dad who left his son in a hot car now faces 8 counts, including 3 for murder in the young boy's death. This is Justin Ross Harris. He was indicted by a grand jury this week. Harris left his son Cooper in a car in June in suburban Atlanta for more than 7 hours. The temperature hit 92 degrees that day.
We are pleased with the pace and the thoroughness of this investigation, which continues on today. The evidence in this case has led us to this point today. Whether or not it leads us to anyone else remains to be answered.
Harris faces a mandatory life sentence if convicted on any of the murder charges, and the district attorney could still seek the death penalty. Harris's attorney believes the charges go too far.
He's lost his son, his livelihood, his freedom. He's basically lost everything. His wife has been vilified, humiliated. Embarrassing things about his private life have been aired in public in an attempt to make him look like a bad guy.
Our legal guys are back. Avery Freeman in Cleveland and Richard Herman in Las Vegas. So, Richard, to you first, what evidence is needed to support these murder charges, especially with malice?
Well, Fred, I have a copy of the indictment here that I've pulled down, and it's very interesting. That first charge of malice, we see several counts here for murder, and felony murder is, for instance, if you're robbing a bank and someone dies, then that's felony murder. You can be charged with felony murder for that. Murder, first-degree murder, in most cases, is where you form that intent to actually kill someone. That brings the death penalty in a case like this, and that's their top charge here. They believe that he carefully planned and schemed to kill his child, and that's what they're going to have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And if they muddied it up with other issues concerning cruelty to children and issues of sexual exploitation of children, that is separate and distinct from the murder case. It's set. If you want to inflame the jury,
Is it separate, or is that are those the building blocks
a jury,
in which to
bring
use?
those counts. That has nothing. That has nothing to do with murder.
Nailed it.
No, it'll be severed. They will never go to trial with the murder, and those counts will not go in the same trial here.
So you're saying this package deal, Richard, I think I'm hearing you right. You're saying this package deal, these building blocks will help prosecutors get ultimately what they want, which is guilty on at least malice by way of using these other things that speak to his character, right?
Yes.
Alleged character or alleged behavior at the time of the child's death?
No,
you're
that's
saying
irrelevant.
Look at this guy. This guy was sexting at work while the kid was literally dying in the vehicle. I mean, this is an awful story. This was planned. He went to the website about child-free life. I mean, and I understand a lot of people will go out there. Hold on. And that actually, the fact is that does go to the question of intent, whether or not people do things like that. He did. In the context of what's going on, I actually like the prosecutor's case. I actually think the wife, who the defense lawyer claimed was vilified, she called the daycare center, Frederica. Where's Cooper? Did she call her husband? What the heck was going on here?
Fred,
and I think further digging will show that there may have been some involvement. It remains to be seen, but I think the prosecutors have a good case.
Okay, Richard.
There's a lot of information we don't have yet on this case, and Avery mentioned some things that absolutely go to intent. But I'm saying muddying this indictment up with him sending pictures to underage children has nothing to do with murder and the intent.
I don't agree. Wait a minute, why not? I mean, I'm not the attorney, you guys are, but why not? Because doesn't it say, doesn't this paint the picture of this is the activity of what was taking place while this man's child was dying, and this person was doing this, and this is his state of mind? That's not what that says?
No, it does not say that.
You sound like the prosecutor, Frederica. That's right.
It's not going to be admissible in this case, Fred. But the fact of him investigating childless life and how hot it takes to kill someone or kill an animal in a car, all that's going to come in, and that goes to intent here. It's a horrible, horrible case. And when they give a description, when they put an expert on to say how the child suffered in the heat,
it's all
the
going
jury's
in,
just going to
and
fall.
they're getting a
He's going to have a big problem defending himself in this case, Fred.
Okay, let's move on to another case, this one in Texas, and this one, too, is shocking for a whole lot of people, and now it means a young mother says that she is going to sue a local Texas police department after they handcuffed her right in front of her children.
Put your hands behind your head. Right here. Come on back.
Yes, sir.
Come on back.
What is wrong?
Talk to you in a minute.
My kids.
How old are
They're 6 and 8 and 10, 9. What are we doing?
Hold on a second, okay?
Sir, what is going on? Oh my God, you are terrifying my children.
Oh my gosh. So police pulled over Kimitra Barber and then ordered her out of the car, as you could hear there. And then her 6-year-old, who you're seeing right now, face is blurred, getting out of the car with the hands up, walking towards police. So officers had just received a call about 4 men in a beige car. And so they pulled over this burgundy car.
I said, Lord, please don't let them shoot me in front of my children. That's what I asked right there.
To get up and say, that they felt that procedure had been followed, well, your procedure needs to change, because your procedure says, okay, we don't have 4 black men here, any black body will do.
Police call the stop a mistake, but say the officers did the right thing. The city manager tells our affiliate WFAA that it has received no complaints, rather, of racial injustice or creating an environment of mistrust. So Avery and Richard back with us now. Okay, so in Texas, or really in almost any jurisdiction, how difficult is it for you to turn around and sue the police department, even if they admit to making a mistake? Mistaken identity here. They shouldn't have, pulled her over. Her vehicle didn't fit the description, nor did she and the kids in the car. There weren't guys in the car. Instead, it was a mother and her children. So, Avery, you first. Does she have a chance at trying to, sue police?
Yeah, good for them. I tell you, I'd have jumped and taken a one-way ticket to federal court in Dallas to represent these people. Number one, the standard is, did the police know, or should they have known, about the fact that it was the wrong color car, the wrong make of car? There weren't men. This was a woman with it. The only similarity is her race. And the fact is that under that, there's a Civil Rights Act passed in 1871, Frederica, and I'm happy that Ms. Barber is thinking about moving forward. I represent police. This is not good police work. It is so out of line that I think that police department is going to have a lot of trouble, including the individual officers.
Richard, how do you see? What's next here?
Absolutely not. Avery is completely wrong here. There are no damages in the case, Fred. Actually, what happened here was police said it was a case of mistaken identity. They have a report that someone is shooting a gun out of a car with 4 people in it at this particular exit. So they went and they stopped her, briefly detained, briefly, minutes,
that's all
not
it takes.
hours. Didn't take her to police. Briefly detained her, released her, said they made her move on.
I don't know how you minimize this. I don't know how you minimize this.
Absolutely.
Wow. I know, but when you look at the videotape, that doesn't look like a briefly stop.
Look at the 6-year-old.
I think when people envision briefly stop, it's you ask for the ID, you look around, and you move on. But this was handcuffing. At least you hear her talking it through, and then you see a little kid getting out of the car, hands up. Richard, that's briefly stop.
We must be looking at 2 different cases.
Out of a window at this exit. It's a brief detention, and they let her go. That's what it's all about.
Oh, no.
That's it.
No
damages.
Watch what happens here.
Oh, God.
Watch what happens.
No, I'm sorry. That's breaking my heart right there.
Richard thinks
we'll place
they're
a bet
walking.
on this
They're not
one.
walking.
0
This is
damages.
big trouble for the department.
0.
Okay.
No way.
We don't ever expect that you all will be in agreement, but wow, you all are diametrically opposed on this one and on every case today.
I'll tell you, Frederica, one thing we are in agreement with is we're excited about your triathlon. What's the charity?
Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Yes.
Right.
Well, you're going to make us proud, especially your dad, Fred.
Thank you so much. Hey, I just need to finish. That's all.
Fred, you got to change that red swim cap. You got to get rid of that one. You got to get something else.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Well, they're going to give me a different color because we all have to be, in unison. They want all the little bobbing heads in the water to look like the same color. So you're not going to see hot pink out there.
Pasta.
I know you'll do well.
That's right. Lots of pasta the night before. All right. Thank you. Wish me well.